shout out to Pucks on Net on Twitter. They're the podcast that talks about Canucks stuff. They've been doing their thing for years. They posted this tweet of Bo Horvat on After Hours and how the CBC crew went out there, or is it CBC? I think it's CBC. I don't know. But either way, how the crew over there forced Bo Horvat to watch his awful shootout attempt the second he got onto the program. And his face says it all. That is the face of a man who does not want to be there. Now, the interview was pretty good. I mean, the whole thing was recorded and posted onto the Canucks subreddit, so you can go ahead and watch it there. But Bo Horvat went on to After Hours and did pretty much the After Hours thing, talking about accountability, talking about mentality, consistency, and all that. It's all the E's at the end of the sentences, so nice to see the Canucks captain going out there and representing. But aside from his horrible shootout attempt, which lost the Canucks the game yesterday, we had ourselves also a very funny exchange on Instagram. I normally don't do this often, but I do think this is hilarious, so if you go over onto Bo Horvat's IG, you can see the most recent post made of him talking about his kids. Halloween 2022, you can see his son and his daughter. They look very amazing in their costumes. And if you go to a comment made last night after Bo Horvat's shootout attempt, there's a comment made by Brian Murray. Man, what the freak was that shoot tonight? Probably saying, what was that shot tonight? I lost 91.50 because of that. You think you can e-transfer me that back, pal? Obviously, he's being tongue-in-cheek with it. He's kind of saying, hey man, what was that shootout attempt? You lost me money there. And Bo replied to the guy saying, send me your info. This was last night at about 1 a.m.-ish because it's daylight savings time, so it's a little bit different now, but Bo Horvat apparently went out there and sent the guy back some money if we are going off of this little exchange here. There wasn't any follow-up by any of the two parties, but either way, Bo, Captain Bo, he's coming out here and treating the fans to compensated money after his shootout flop. And honestly, it's kind of funny. It's poetic in a way. Because if Bo Horvat went in on goal, he took a regular shot, and it just happened to be a beautiful save by Saros. I doubt this comment and the exchange that happens on Instagram actually happens. I doubt they show it to him on After Hours. It's only funny because Bo Horvat completely whiffed on it and lost the puck in the process. It was not a good series of events. Now, there are other conversations we can have about the Vancouver Canucks, and I know we kind of touched on most of that yesterday in the post-game video, but then again, you know, I did say in the video I was coming back from a party, I didn't watch the game, so all the thoughts of the Canucks were just kind of floating around in there with no real substance behind it. Today I wanted to talk about just the team in general, because when it comes to smaller topics, we can go into the Thatcher Demkos of the world. We can go into the defensive play of guys like Miller and Bo and everybody. We can talk about the defense. We can talk about all this stuff. But I feel like just holistically, we need to make one video saying, hey, what the hell's wrong with this team? Why? Anytime I meet somebody new, anytime I talk to somebody who hasn't seen me for a while, they always ask me the same thing. Hey, what's the problem with the Canucks? Why do they keep on losing? And it's not necessarily because the team is bad. They're not a bad team on paper. They're just performing so poorly, and it's to the extent where it's like, you know, something has to be up when everybody ends up playing like this. You blow leads, you play periods where you absolutely get dominated when you have the lead. Thatcher Demko is not able to steal wins anymore. And whenever people ask me, what's the problem with the team? Obviously, I don't want to go all 10-minute Lego Rocks commentary to people in a real-life situation, so I just kind of say, it's mentality. It's consistency. It's how they refuse to win. Sure, the defense is not ideal. There's a lot of improvements to be made with this decor, especially when you have guys that are better than the players on the ice sitting in the press box, i.e. Jack Rathbone. He should be playing over Riley Stillman. Come on, man. Why is that Stillman still in there? But when it comes to everything else, Thatcher Demko has played in front, or behind, a bad defense for years. He's bailed the team out for years. He's won games and stolen games for the team for years. This is the one season so far where Demko really does look off. And sure, it's because the defense in front of him is not great, but even isolated. Just taking a look at expected goals for and expected goals against, goals saved above expected, etc., Demko is one of the worst goalies in the NHL. Let's go over to MoneyPuck's goals saved above expected metric and sort by lowest to highest. Demko is third last in the league. And this is amongst goalies who have played a minimum of one game, so there are 70 goalies listed out here. Carter Hart is the best with 15.9 goals saved above expected, meaning that of the shots taken on Hart, he has stopped 15.9 goals. Demko has allowed 6.8. Like, you talk about a guy that can't give you the game-winning save. Demko this year has been that guy. And I don't think that's all too unfair to say. Demko has not been his best. The defense in front of him, sure, they're bad. But when it comes to just regular shots and goals against and how Demko is performing relative to the shots against him, sure, he gets a lot of opportunities against that are high danger, but he's still allowed 6 more goals than he should have. Having a number below 0 is not good in this metric, and Demko is near the bottom of the league. So when it comes to that, the defense sucks. We get it. Demko has not been great either. And then there's the offensive prowess of guys that are on this team that sort of wither away collectively altogether when the team has a bad 20 minutes. It's not just one line that takes their foot off the gas pedal, it's the whole team. And I don't know what other verbal communications there are that can express how weird that is. Bruce Boudreau already said that it's like this team refuses to win. They've got a weak mentality, and ultimately when it comes to what's wrong with the Vancouver Canucks, it's crap like this. I don't want to say for sure that it's the voodoo magic that's coming to play here, the black magic getting cursed upon the lands of Rogers Arena or whatever it is, because we all know the curses and the voodoo, that's reserved for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But for Vancouver, it sucks because if all of these players on the team played at their absolute best 100% of the time, heck, even if you had just the regular Demko right now, just human Demko, not bubble Demko, not superhuman Demko, just regular Demko, the guy who's let in 6.8 more goals than he should have. If you have every skater on this team playing to their 100% best capacity and regular Demko in net, you don't see a team that blows as many leads as this team does. You don't see a team that's near the bottom of the NHL. You see a team that's likely closing out these games when they have the lead. They've probably won 4 in a row to kick off the NHL season, and they're probably near the top of the Pacific, if not at the absolute top. The coaching staff, the defense, the acquisitions that the team has made, these don't help, for sure. But on a team where Bo Horvat is one of the top goal scorers in the NHL, and he has been the top goal scorer since a period in May, I believe, when you have JT Miller, who is still a point-per-game guy, Elias Pettersson, who comes alive and controls games through sheer power of will, Andrei Kuzmenko, who's been a great free agent pickup, scoring in tight net front present goals, Mikheyev, who's sniping left and right, if Connor Garland gets his game back up to the level that we know he's capable of playing at, where he's able to make those tight angle snipes and facilitate play in a very proper way, you have a good team, or at least a team that can play very well. And we've seen them play very well in separated 20 to 30 minute segments of each game that they've played so far. Okay, no, the Buffalo game, that was a really bad one. They were kind of bad the entire time, so nah. But either way, aside from that game, every other game has been pretty good in certain moments of the game before they end up blowing the lead. So I'd say it's mentality. And maybe the mentality of the fans plays into it a little bit too, because I had said this yesterday, but every time the Canucks score a goal, I cheer. I cheer as loudly as I have ever cheered before when Andrei Kuzmenko gets a goal, when JT Miller gets a beautiful pass out in front and it's Bo Horvat who snipes it. I cheer. No matter what happens, when this team, if this team decides to tank and people are cheering for losses, cheering for Bedard, etc., no matter what happens, when they score, we cheer. And even though the building was electric with cheers yesterday, there still were boos that rained on even more because at the end of the day, the team blew it. They blew it again. JT Miller had a comment about the building and how volatile it is in terms of its attitude towards the team. We can talk about that in another video, but this video is coming to an end here. I don't know, I'm feeling kind of sad now because I'm reminded that they lost again. But either way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this British Rolls 99. And Bye.